and welcome
back
to our new series, Twin Flames, A New Earth. This is part 1.
We're doing a series, y'all. We're doing a series.
And Charlie's here. He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
He's going to join us and help us out with the series.
Good.
Said he's going to love you and he's going to love us. We're going to talk about all these wonderful things. I got this real-ass fire lit behind us with real-ass wood. And it's warm and cozy in here. I'm sure you'll see it, but this guy's even a little warmer than the fire. So
yeah,
it's getting a little cooler here in Michigan. It's winter is coming, so we're warming up by the fire, and we're here to share with you some warm, delightful good news.
Yes.
And today we're going to talk about spiritual community and why it doesn't work. Now, don't get freaked out because most of you or many of you watching this are probably already part of our spiritual community. So,
or you desire to be in one, and you're making your way to find yours.
Or you're already in a different spiritual community that's working well for you, and that's great.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about, this whole series is really about what happens after Harmonious Twin Flame Union.
Right.
Yeah. And we want to paint what your life will look like after Harmonious Union, but more than that, what the world will look like after Harmonious Union. And so we found it to be a extraordinary and dramatic but wonderful shift in our lives. And we live in a different reality than most people do. And it's a wonderful, a very happy reality that's only been growing in pleasure and peace and in romance and in fun and all the wonderful things we could ever imagine in our lives.
Purpose and meaning and peace. Yeah, we live a very good life.
We've got an amazing, I think about 16-part series. This is one of the biggest videos. This is the biggest free video series I've ever done. I think that Twin Flames IRL was pretty long.
Twin Flames IRL was long. I have like a playlist that has all our IRL videos, so you can just go look at it in our videos. And that was a pretty cool insight into our life. Like 4 years ago, I guess, but
5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago, yeah, quite some time. Holy gosh!
Well, it's been a long time since Twin Flames IRL.
But we wanted to share with you the whole picture of like what it really means to pursue, desire, and inevitably have your harmonious twin flame union. We have. At the time of this video being recorded, we have 11 harmonious twin flame unions in our community through our work. 3 total are married. We had a beautiful Indian HTFU get married a couple days ago, and then in late October, and then a month prior we had a West Coast couple from our community also get married, and both these couples had harmonious union before they got married, and marriage was kind of the natural, obvious next step, and it was for us, And
that's the dream, is being married to, like, eternally committed to your ultimate lover.
Right.
And I always, if you have watched some of our recent previous videos about eternal life and your consciousness continuing on beyond death into eternity, lifetime after lifetime. And I've understood that for quite some time. And I knew before I met Shalia that until death do us part in the marriage vows never really settled.
It never settled with me either. I was like, well, that doesn't really apply to us. We'll just be together forever.
I wanted a partner I had to be with forever.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
And so when you start to shift your perspective into eternity, it starts to fundamentally change your reality.
I was like, these marriage vows are very short-lived.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Even though I was like 30 when we got married, it's like, still, I'm like, I don't know if these vows work for me.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Like, we knew in our heart what we were committing to, what we were really saying to each other. Yeah. It was very romantic.
So, Twin Flames in Harmonious Union is an eternal thing. And it begins a fundamental shift of Earth. And it creates a completely new Earth, which is the title and the reason for this video series. And we want to show you what the new earth is going to look like and is supposed to look like after Harmonious Union.
Right.
And this is the reason for this movement. This is the reason for this spiritual path. And this is what ultimately this desire that you have in your heart to have your twin flame in Harmonious Union will blossom into.
Because it impacts your entire reality.
And all the people in it.
And all the people in it.
And all the people that you share this planet with are affected by your pursuit and achievement of Harmonious Union. Harmonious Union is a very powerful and sacred thing. As Shalia said, we now have 11 of them in our community as a result of our
and we
work.
just love that number 11, don't we?
Yeah.
It's a special number.
and more on the way, you know.
More on the way,
We
man.
just shot a video that said 9 Harmonious Unions, and
We
then
did,
2 more happened
and
between now
we
and
had
then.
2 more come up, so...
And
do
check
them
out
all.
our partner channel, Twin Flames Universe, if you want to. I think around this time they're in the process of interviewing every Harmonious Union.
Yeah, and there's also like weekly readings. If you like your Twin Flame readings, go check out our Twin Flames Universe channel. I think we can link it in the description below, and if you go to our channel, it's listed as one of our channels that we endorse. So you'll love that.
It's run by our students in our company.
Yes.
So it's really good content. You can find lots of little gems there on that channel as well.
And you find other Harmonious Unions there.
So as we developed this work, it was a little under a year ago that we first revealed ourselves to our students in person. We showed up in New York City.
We're like, we're here, we're alive, we're real.
And we spent almost a week in person with our students, living with them.
And an Airbnb. It was fun.
And we
celebrated New Year's Eve. Good times.
We did 4 live classes, 3 TFAT, Twin Flame Ascension School classes, and 1 Life Purpose class live in New York. And if you're subscribed or if you're a member of either of those, you can see those.
See those, yeah.
But something really important happened. That we realized, this is the first time that we all got to experience what the new earth was like. And I announced gleefully at the dinner table one evening, this is sustainable. And what I meant by that was that this new earth is sustainable, that this is real.
Yeah.
And of course, we wanted to find out, well, how is it that we get this spiritual community together? Because this is really good. This is really juicy.
We wanted New York to never end. On some level, all 50, 60 of us did not want it to end.
No one wanted it.
We just wanted to go off together in the sunset kind of thing,
And the same thing was true of Toronto.
In Toronto, yeah.
Some Twin Flames Universe merchandise of Experience Heaven on Earth, Toronto 2019.
That was fun.
And that's just what happened in Toronto, is we all got to taste and experience heaven on earth for a short period of time together in Toronto again.
Yeah, and we got to see 3 Harmonious Unions occur right in front of us.
You can actually order this, the Toronto Talks. I'm not sure if the merch is still available.
It is.
But but Toronto Talks.
Toronto Talks.
The recording of our workshop.
Yeah.
In Toronto is available on our website, twinflamesuniverse.com. And truly it was heaven on earth.
Yeah.
So back to New York, we naturally wanted to continue this, and it wouldn't make sense to keep renting an Airbnb, and Shilly and I had a much more luxurious life to return to in Michigan.
and a dog that missed us.
Of course. And we wanted to merge the two, our spiritual community and our, a really wonderful life and home. We wanted to merge those two together because it was so divine, being with our spiritual community, living in heaven on earth with other people, and our very divine home, which we're going to talk about in a future video about what your home is going to be like living in heaven on earth.
With your twin flame.
In Harmonious Union.
In Harmonious Union.
Heaven on earth starts right here, and through Twin Flame Ascension School and Life Purpose class, we ignite that fire in your heart, and that fire, and this is what scares people, consumes everything that's out of alignment with this new earth, with Harmonious Union in your heart. And so we're going to talk about in this video, why is it that spiritual community doesn't work? And we're talking about why is it that living together with your spiritual community,
communal stuff. And I know there are communities that come together for a brief period of time, like Burning Man. It's kind of like that idea.
Or,
and I know that
like,
there's other spiritual communities that were kind of born out of the hippie movement in the 1960s and 1970s. But it can only really sustain for a short period of time, then everyone's got to go back.
Or spiritual communities that are long-standing, haven't been happening for thousands of years, like monks living together or nuns living together.
Well, there's the monastic life. Yeah, you're talking about monasticism. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what spirituality has been trying to achieve for a long time and has been successfully achieving in some ways, and the New Age movement has been trying to achieve in all its facets, is spiritual community, a place where everyone can be together and live in harmony and happiness,
right,
in abundance and in peace, and just a divine and utopian, idea. And we actually tried this. We tried to combine the idea of, Shirley and I have this idea of living in a very large, luxurious mansion, because that's ultimately the sort of home that's going to perfectly and appropriately support our life purpose and God's vision for our life. And so we're like, whoa, we could just have the mansion now if we all got together, pooled our resources, and lived in one big house together.
Yeah.
And it'd be wonderful.
Yep.
And so we set out attempting to do that in many different ways. And none of them worked. They all fell apart miserably.
Yeah.
And even to the point where we tried to have like a live-in part of our business where a bunch of our students came together just as part of business. And that spiritually kept running into some massive walls that never really supported it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the reason that spiritual communities like this don't work. Because the spiritual community that we were trying to manifest is different than the focus groups that spiritual communities that work today are. And that's truly what the monastic life is it's a focus group, a small part of society focused very highly on spirituality. But ultimately, that's not what our body of work produces.
Usually that monastic life, that focus is just between like basically you and God and a group of people separate from like your twin flame.
And separate from society.
And separate from society, and like our teaching like is not that at all. And I know like 80 years ago or so, like Yogananda tried this with married couples and monks that they lived together in harmony and practiced Kriya yoga together, and Yogananda found that it didn't really work out having married couples with monks try to live together. Like it fell apart really bad.
And so the only natural logical conclusion that we could come to, and the natural logical conclusion that this work results in, is that the earth is one singular harmonious community. And that's ultimately what this series is going to focus on, is the single harmonious community of planet Earth as it ascends into its own harmonious union. That everyone on Earth has harmonious union. That everyone on Earth has harmonious union with their Creator and harmony with each other. And we're going to have a plethora of subjects that we're going to delve deeply into in this video series, that we're going to discuss what this part of life is going to be like. We'll talk about finances, we're going to talk about politics, we're going to talk about Hollywood, we're going to talk about art, we're going to talk about music,
education,
family,
life purpose,
everything. We're going to cover all major facets of life. Your health, your wealth, your relationships, even religion and spirituality.
Oh, of course.
So throughout this series, we're going to discuss all these juicy subjects in depth, and we're going to paint for you a very clear picture of what life is like on the other side of the ascension, and why you really want to be a part of this holy movement, this divine and beautiful movement that Twin Flames Universe has set into motion, and why, if you're really passionate about this, that becoming an ascension coach, a certified ascension coach, is one of the most powerful things you can do to serve this planet and bring the new earth into being. And of course, by following your twin flame journey and getting into harmonious union yourself and sharing that harmonious union in your own unique way with the rest of civilization. These are the most powerful things that you can do in order to bring this beautiful new earth that we are showing you into being. So once again, why doesn't spiritual community work? Well, because life is more than just spirituality. Life is more than just a conversation between you and God in a temple. Life is more than just a community supporting that. Life is art. Life is play. Life is music. Life is food. Life is fun. Life is family. Life is education. Life is kids and pets. Life is creating stuff. Life is so much more, and that is your conversation with God, and you're meant to share that with your twin flame in perfect union together for eternity. Life is love, and love is always increase. And increase is never a bad thing when it is love. Love is always expanding. Love is always there. Love is eternal. And love is always perfect and good for you and for all and for God. And so we hope to show you through this series the beauty of humanity that is unfolding now, the beauty of heaven on earth that is already begun and is already established on this planet, and that you can help take part in its establishment and its proliferation to every corner of the planet.
You can be very intimate in a spiritual community without having to live with them, in the same home, or you can have what you're desiring out of that experience. You have the internet, you got coffee shops, you got the cell phone,
you're already connected.
You're already connected. And I think that's the biggest piece, or the biggest realization, is you are not separate from your spiritual community. And you can live with a person and yet feel like you're not even on the same planet. So it's just a matter of your consciousness, not about whether you're physically together, yes or no.
That sense of warmth and closeness that you desire, that support, that healthy relationship, that abundance, that sense of community is what the entire planet should feel like. When you walk through your neighborhood, you should feel that support and that community. When you turn on the TV, or when you surf the internet, when you're talking to people in your schools, in your businesses, in your work, in your play, in your education, your recreation, everywhere you go, you should feel that community that is the earth. And we want to show you that it's already here, and we want to help you to invest in that planetary community of which we are all already a part, and that air that we share and we breathe together, that we can invest in this place and make it just so divine and so beautiful and always getting better forever and ever.
Amen.
So we hope you enjoyed this video. Please join us in the next video in our series.
Yes, we'll see you in the next video.
All right.
Catch us in other ones.
Thanks and take care.
See you soon, guys. Bye. Thank you.